And welcome to Let's Fly VFR. Today we're heading around another few airports in Papua New Guinea, and we're going to do this at a bit of altitude as well. So here's our first attempt and a go around at the airport we're about to arrive at. So thought I'd show you this first because this was a real challenge getting here. So hang around until we actually get to the airport and try and put the aircraft on the ground. So here we are, flying in Gorka, and we're going to go to Chimbu. And both of these airports are around about the 5,000 foot AGL mark. And I thought, well, why not just do it in the Cessna for a bit of a change? So here we are, and ready to go. Now there's a couple of things to consider here before you get going. Remembering we're at 5,000 feet, we need to look at density altitude. So we need to tune the engine a little bit before we get going to get our max power. So you can set this, I think you can do this at any speed, but you need to just adjust the red knob there, which is your mixture, so that you're getting the maximum RPM for the amount of throttle that you have there. Now you can probably do this at full power, or you can do this at 15 or so 100, which I have. I'm pretty sure the power is going to be the same, but you're going to get the right mixture, which is important. So we're going to fly, as you saw from the map there, which is fairly quick. That's the path that we're going to take. We've gone to 1 already, we're going to fly to position 2, and then we're going to head off to 3. So now I'm pretty comfortable that is all set up correctly. I've got some flaps set. Now if you want to go back and check the map, feel free. Duck back, have a look at the map, because the big thing with this is the mountains and the altitude. So let's get ourselves on the go here. And here we are at Gorka, AYGA. We're at 5199 foot AGL as we head down this airport. So we're going to need all the power we can get to get off here in a reasonable amount of time. Hence the needing to set that correct fuel mixture up. Otherwise we'll be running really rich like an old diesel. We'll be pumping out lots of black crap at the back and not going anywhere. So looking pretty good. Now we've got the zoom level 16, so I didn't go massive on the zoom level on the ortho, but it gives you a pretty good representation of where we are. There's a few buildings around us as we head out here in the Cessna. Doesn't she look magnificent as we head out here? So we've got everything up. We've got I think we've still got a stage of flaps here to put away as we get out, but remember the air's going to be really thin at 5,000 feet, so you want to be well and truly comfortable before you lose that extra amount of lift. And remember, we've got a lot of cloud around today, as you can see there. Just a little note, there isn't much room between the clouds and the ridge line, and I am not flying into cloud after we did the last one because it scared the hell out of me. So we're going to probably have to go down a few valleys, allow them to the weather. Now this is real live weather. It's real time weather we have set up here as we get. I thought it is only fair, and it just makes these flights so much more interesting. So looking pretty good. Flaps are up, everything's trimmed. Climbing to get a bit of altitude because I want to get over that ridge line. But the distance between where we are to Chimbu is around about 25 nautical miles, so not a massive amount of distance, but there's a lot of hard stuff between us and where that is. So I haven't trimmed a lot of this flight out, guys, so hang with me because it is really worthwhile. It's really worthwhile hanging around because we're going to be ducking and weaving around valleys and clouds, and I promise you we are not flying any clouds this time, because I was waiting to hit a hill last time we did this one in the first flight of the series. So this is flight 2, and if you want, head back and have a look at the first flight if you haven't seen that, and the next flight, which will be upcoming very soon as I make this one. But if you're looking back in the future, then it'll be a series of at least 3 here flying in Papua New Guinea. Now you can see that cloud base is just getting a little bit close and I'm going to want to descend, I reckon, to get underneath it, because I don't want to fly into it. It's just going to get nasty. Now we're going to find some gaps between the cloud and the top of that bloody ridge line so that we don't get scared. Now we can have a look at the map. So have a look at the map while I've got it up, and you can see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get over that ridge line and into that low terrain and down the valleys, which is what you're going to be doing a fair bit of the time here in Papua New Guinea. So I've zoomed in a little bit. You can see the high points and the low points. Obviously the high points is that darker shade, and we're just about to come over this peak, and then we'll have a valley below us, so we'll have a little bit more room to spare as we head down. Now there's a few other aircraft around, but I'm pretty sure we aren't going to see any of those at this point. So powering off and descending because I'm a little high. Now if you're enjoying the video, please hit that subscribe button. Love to have you on board. We're heading towards 1,000 as I make this video. Still got a few to go, so love to have you guys hitting that subscribe and that bell icon. Getting videos out pretty much every week, and this week is going to be 2, I think, so we'll have a Wednesday and a Friday vid. So we'll get down over this valley and head down. Now we need to go a little bit left. You can see on the compass I've got the heading indicator there, so it's off to the left a bit, but because the hills and were so high ahead of me, I've scooted off to the right, and we're going to try and get round those. And I think over that valley ahead of us, you can see to the left there, that should lead us pretty comfortably into our airport there at Chimbu. A bit of a left bank, we'll run it round. Just descend a little bit. Got fairly well trimmed here, and we're at about 9,000 or 8,000. It's about 8,700 feet. Now our airports is back at around about 5. I think the highest point around here is about 13,000 feet. So we've got to just weave our way through the clouds and the hills here. If you're interested, there's some really good videos I've seen in the past about guys doing their real world flying, getting their hours up before they go back and go commercial, flying around the Papua New Guinea little airstrips. It's pretty frightening stuff, and sometimes it's terminal, unfortunately. So you've got to be very respectful of flying planes around these mountains. Well, the scenery look good. Even at zoom level 16, it just makes it so much nicer. So we're going to head ahead here, and we need to go a little bit to the right to get to our airport. You can see the heading indicator a little bit to the right of the west mark there on the compass, and you can look down on the GPS there. You can see also that it's it's ahead of us. We're just a little bit right of the direct track, but we're heading back in the right direction at least. A few aircraft passing us. Now we're going to go left down this valley. As you can see, the ridge line ahead of us is a little bit lower than the cloud line. Looks like we've got a bit of a river might be running down there to our right. There's a few rivers around here. Pretty much leveled out. Power's good, fuel's good, all the other indications are good. Now our airport's going to be off to the right, I believe, so we need to get over this ridge line first. Now, if you happen to lose your engine and land in here, it's going to be a damn long walk out. And the forest here is pretty thick apparently, so you could be lost in here for years if you're unfortunate not to make it out of the crash, or someone might even find what's left of you. So dangerous flying here in Papua New Guinea. So let's have a look. You can see where we want to be, over to the left there, and we need to get down this valley. And hopefully it's within the valley, though we might have to go around the corner a little bit further. So let's see how we head, but we're keeping out of the clouds, which is more important than anything else at the moment. So don't be afraid to use your maps. You've got maps there. Just hit the F10, get your map, have a look at it. You can see the airport's over to the right, that orientated in the direction the aircraft is flying. Now we're looking to head over that ridge line that was just pointing at it with the mouse. Now you can see that okay, but we can head over that gap. There's just enough gap there, I think, to make it safe. And we can put the 172 over the top of that without getting into cloud, and that should put us pretty close at our desired airport there at Chumbu, AYCH. Looking pretty good, isn't it? I think we're safe. What do you reckon? Okay, making that safely over the top of the ridge. Okay, we're close enough to our final destination at Hagen, AYMH, which we're not going to do today. We're going to land at Chimbu first. So over this last ridge line.
Altimeter 2992. Arriving runway 30. Departing runway 30. Advise on initial contact you have line.
Okay, we'll worry about that information on our next flight. So we've still got 7.4 to get to Chimbu, as we head over this hopefully last ridge line. We're still sitting at just over 9,000 feet. So if you haven't done it, hit that subscribe button. Really love to have you on board, guys. So we're heading down this valley. Now this is going to take us around to the left. And hopefully within the valley, I would like to see the airport, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. Looking around, checking our direction. We need to be further left to get to our airport. Just descending a little, because I know that the airport is back at 4,974 feet. So whether it's in this particular valley remains to be seen. I would expect to see it if it was here, so I expect it's not. But it might be around to the left as we get to the end of this valley. So the engine's running well. Our cylinder head temperatures are fine. Our fuel is good. And we're at 8,500 feet and descending at about 1,000 feet a minute at the moment. So we do need to lose some altitude so we don't have to be Stuka dive bombing into the airport. We don't want to be doing that. Just give ourselves a little bit of space. Don't want to be getting too close to the valley walls. I'm hoping you guys have all had a really great working week. Give a smile on your dial. I'd love to hear from any of the ladies out there. We don't seem to have too many ladies in the flight sim community. If you're out there, let me know you're there. Okay, so we haven't seen anything so far. So looking left, looking for an airport. So you see if you can spot it. There it is. It looks like it's over there to the left. So around we go. Give ourselves a little bit of space. Now at this point you've got to consider what you want to do. Now there's the airport. So do we fly overhead and then descend back down into pattern? Something like you'd see at an Air Force base where they fly down the runway first and then peel off, or do we fly in direct? I think we'll have a go at flying in direct and see if we can't get there to start with, but I think our altitude is going to defeat that little idea. We're descending pretty steeply, but I think we're still way too high. We're still way too high, way too much speed as well. So let's we'll just fly down and then we'll peel around and then we'll make an approach on the second time around. We're pretty lucky today. The winds are relatively calm. There's only a couple of knots floating around, though it is pretty cold. We're only at about 4 degrees C. If you have a quick look on the we'll just drop to 3 degrees C. This altitude's going to be pretty cold, so I do have the pitot heats and things on just in case. Don't want to be losing instruments at a crucial time. The river's down there. Now we're flying parallel and about the right distance. You want to have the landing the runway around about halfway down your strut if you've got a high wing aircraft like this one. Get ourselves, get the speed back, get a descent happening. We've got a first stage of flap already down. Remembering the air is going to be pretty thin at 5,000 feet. You don't want to be too stupid with tight turns or anything crazy. You'll end up as a smoking hole on the ground, I think is what will happen. Okay, coming around. Okay, not looking too good at the moment. We're powering back with 70 knots, that's not too bad. 500 foot per minute descent. Not the most ideal descent and approach, but we'll have a look and see how we go. Runway 21, 10 degrees. As we make the final approach, this is not looking good, and if we're going to run out of one runway pretty quickly, I think. So we'll power back up and we'll give that one more go. So we'll go around. Don't be scared to go around, guys. It's just not worth the effort to you just don't want to crash. It's not worth the effort. Go around again, a couple of minutes, keep yourself safe. The same applies to the real world. If you're not happy on your approach to it, to the airport, go back around and take another couple of minutes, take a couple of deep breaths and give it another good go. Fairly good road system here. The river running down there still. And I think on our next flight we might be doing a bit of valley traversing, just heading down the valleys on the process. So looking at our range there, it's roughly halfway down the strut. So we're in about the right distance from the airport. That valley ahead of us, which we just came from. Alright, just passing touchdown point, so powering back and set ourselves up. So it's power for descent and pitch for speed. So get the right pitch for the speed that you want, and then just adjust the power to control your descent rate. Yes, I know there's another version, guys, but this is what I use. There's one hell of an argument over whether you use the alternate version you're welcome to do that if you want. So let's turn ourselves around onto base. Looking pretty good this time round. Now you have a choice there. Looks like the ortho and the default airport scenery don't quite match up. So you could have the dirt runway, or you can have the asphalt if you really want it. So I think we might go the asphalt to start with, and we'll try and get ourselves down there neat and tidy. A little bit on the steep side, but that's okay. We can deal with that. Pretty used to these sort of approaches at Gawler and the Jabiru. Like to do the fly the glide approach. Nose up, hold it up, let the speed bleed off, get it straight. Looking for the mains. There we are, mains on, and we've made it, guys. We've made it from Gorka AYGA to Chimbu AYCH, both roughly at around about the 5,000 foot above mean sea level. So let's taxi out and we'll get ourselves ready for the next jaunt, which is going to be from Chimbu over to Mount Hagen, OYMH. And again, this one is going to be around about 5,367 feet, but you're going to have to wait for that one because that's going to be the next video. So we'll taxi ourselves down here and get ourselves ready to go, because you're going to wait, but I'm not, because I'm going to fly it real soon. Been a pleasure having you along. Thanks for coming along and sticking with me through the video. It's been a real joy flying through these valleys, especially with a cloud. There's a lot of challenges here, and if you haven't had these, and if you fly in real world, don't fly in real world, you just choose nice weather all the time. Challenge yourself, guys. You owe it to yourself to give it a try. Take yourself out of the comfort zone. I'll slide around here a little bit as we get ourselves lined up for the next takeoff, because I'll see you right back here in the next video for sure. Let's get ourselves lined up, and there we are, ready to go. We're going to go out on the dirt strip next time round. Got the particle system working well here in X-Plane 11, and I look forward to catching you guys back here real soon. Remember, subscribe, like, share the hell out of the video, guys. Love to have it thrown around Facebook and all the other places in the world. And I will catch you back here for another video at Let's Fly VFR real soon. Catch you then. Bye.